This kind of feels like Margret Atladottir Unplugged. I've been doing 3 tips for a year and a half, or a little bit more, almost 2 years. And I decided that I would change my video content. I wasn't really sure how, but I took some deep breaths, like I've taught you guys how to do, and just let the feeling come. I discussed it with my friend. I have a really good friend called Margret, and she is in Iceland, and we had a discussion about this, about the Instagram, and how it's supposed to look like and all that. Now, I decided that because of the change in my company due to coronavirus, I really needed to rethink. And I didn't just need to rethink my company, I really needed to rethink my life. And I've said it before that somebody wrote on Facebook or something, don't say crisis, use the word reset. And I want to thank that person because I did that already in like March. In March, it took like a week, and every thing that I had planned to do disappeared. Everything was cancelled. So I lost a lot of money, and I'm still losing a lot of money. And I was really lucky that I have a teaching degree and a job, and so I called my closest boss and I asked her, instead of quitting totally, because I had a little percentage left doing theater at the school, I decided that, I asked her if I could come back 100%, which I'm so grateful for, because, some people are in more of a mess than I am. But I've built this company for 2 years, and every second of my free time, every weekend, evenings, every money that I had, everything has gone to the company, and it was just starting to really fly, so I could actually live off it. But like I said, there's not much I can do about it, so I am actually just, rethinking. I'm still rethinking a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing as I was before. But in the beginning of February, I started doing hypnosis. So we'll see what will come out of that. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is my passion and my vision. So why am I doing this? I've been helping a lot of people, the last few years as a coach. And one of the things that you do when you're building a company, you write down your vision, you write down everything that, you wanted to do. And that plan, is something that really pulls you towards and make you go through times when you don't have that much money and you're tired and you just do it anyhow, and it really pulls you forward. And the reason I am doing this is because I want to give people who have been sexually abused, trafficked, and so on, the tools so that their past does not control their now or their future. Now, this is a passion of mine because I've gone through it. I am a survivor of sexual abuse as a kid. I was sexually abused by my, at the time, stepfather between the age of 8 and 12. And when this was going on, you really don't know what's what in the world. And I mean, he threatened to hurt and kill my mom if I would say anything to her. So as a kid, you don't say anything. You can take it out on other things. I can tell you when the abuse started when I was 8. We were learning the alphabet in school, and I never did. So later on, I became a teacher, a language teacher, maybe the only language teacher in the world that does not know the alphabet. I can't just bubble it up like people can do. But there's a lot of, people around kids, teachers, and cousins, and other family and friends, and family of the friends, and that can matter a lot. And when I was 8, when the abuse started, I had a teacher who did not see that this kid probably is not feeling very good. She did not see that, so she just threw me out of the classroom. So I got thrown out of the classroom. So my behavior was really bad, just like suddenly from one day to another. And the kids on my street, their parents said that they were not allowed to play with me. So I was very much alone, and which meant that I would come home and my stepdad would be home and he would call me into his room. Now, and he would always be there naked. Now, when I was 9, we moved, and I have to say I had this teacher with the same name as me. Her name is Margret. I don't know her last name. I don't remember it. And she kind of saved me. She saw me. She didn't think I was this bad behaved child. She thought I was brilliant. And she wasn't really stuck with the knowledge that you have to have, and everything is supposed to be like this, she wanted you to think on your own and create, and that fitted my personality very well. So I did that for a year, and it was brilliant, and then we moved again. But when I was 12, this had been going on since I was 8. So there's, 4 years? You learn a lot, and you kind of learn how to cope. So I did not go home after school if I didn't need money. So I knew that he would be at home, naked, and things would happen. The best thing would be that I would have to endure a lecture about sex, how I'm supposed to be in bed, and then we would do like stretching, because I was supposed to be able to stretch a lot if I was going to be good in bed. That was like the minimum. And then he would give me some money to shut up. Now this when I didn't know better, I actually got really guilty about this. And I only went home when I needed some money. So I think he figured that out. So the abuse stopped. And when I was 14, my mom, through my grandmother, found out that he was with another woman. He was having an affair. And he had been having an affair for 2 years. Now that woman had a 5-year-old daughter. And so now you can put 2 and 2 together, right? So maybe it wasn't just that he figured out that I was just coming home when I needed money. He was actually, probably, I have no idea, I had another victim. She threw him out. It was a dirty divorce. My mom was devastated. I told her about this. And, you know, what horrible years. Now, I had some really bad teenage years. And this is very usual with people who have been sexually assaulted or abused. That they kind of, when the abuse is not, the abuser is not abusing you anymore, you become your own worst enemy or your worst abuser. I know exactly where to push so it will hurt the most. And I did that. There's another thing with people who have been sexually abused as kids. When they get into their teens, it's like 2 different categories. One is that you just do not want to be in a relationship. You are not, touching anybody. You're not doing anything. You're isolating yourself, kind of. And the other one is the exact opposite, that you're actually kind of sleeping around a lot. And I would have to say that when I was 14, just turning 15, I did everything that summer. My birthday is in November, and this is the summer before I turned 15. I went mentally boom, bam, I have to say. I started smoking, I started drinking, I had a boyfriend. I had a really nice boyfriend that I didn't treat that well, and split up with him after that summer. I would sleep with guys that weren't really nice. I would choose them like that. Of course, I didn't realize at the time, but I can see it now in afterhand, when I look back. And and this is a very common behavior. Now, what happened then was that my friends, they thought I was getting a bad reputation, and said, we don't want to be with you anymore. So I was there, being my worst enemy, not realizing why, and didn't have any friends anymore. Now that's a trauma, I have to say. A lot happened. I developed this wish of being loved, of being needed, that somebody would love me unconditionally. And I did a lot of stuff. They were very, very crazy. But one thing that I really wanted was a kid. I wanted to have a child because I wanted somebody to love me unconditionally. Now that's such a wrong reason to have a child. I did get pregnant twice in my teens, and I got an abortion, mostly because of my mom taking control of things. I'm grateful for her today for that, because I wasn't fit to be a parent at all. when I was like 16 and 17. But then I did get pregnant when I was 21. And nobody said congratulations. Nobody. They said, oh, okay, like that. The poor child. I got that once. And I was like, okay. So what they were referring to was this person that they knew that was partying a lot and, doing all kinds of crazy stuff and just being very, very spontaneous and just like, blah. But you know what? That pregnancy really changed me. And this was my biggest wish. So I was in school. I had moved to Sweden a year before. I was actually going to move from Iceland to Sweden only for 2 years to get my high school degree, and then I would move to Italy because I wanted to go to a school in Italy, the university. Now I got pregnant, so I didn't do that, and I stayed in Sweden and I started my teaching degree here. When I came to Sweden, there was this woman, my Swedish teacher. Her name is Kristina Kalmar, and she was also one of those teachers that really saw me. And she actually, she was very frank about it. She was just like, you know what, I loved you from the first time I saw you. Now, Kristina Kalmar is still, in my heart. We still have contact. I love her to death. And she didn't see that. She saw the beauty in me. And there weren't that many people who did that. They just saw this fun, crazy party girl. And she didn't. She saw something special. And of course she could see that I was very damaged as well inside. And so I finished, and I got this beautiful boy. He's 20 and he's 25 now, which is crazy that I have a 25-year-old. Aha! The thing is that even though I had changed my ways of living, I actually said thank you and goodbye to all my friends, my party friends. So I was again alone. I had a little child and no friends. And I remember sitting in my living room with that little child, and I was just crying because I knew somewhere that this wasn't so good. Having a kid because you want to be loved unconditionally, that shouldn't be his mission or, his job. I would have to love myself, but I didn't realize it then. I have to say, I didn't realize it. I cried a lot. And then I started at the university doing my teaching degree, and I decided that I would go 1 year to Iceland because I was missing home and I'm missing my friends and my family. And so I did that, and he was 4 years old. And this one evening, my cousin Ragnheiður Bjarman, Ragga frænka, she took me to a meeting. It was some kind of a courses in London, something, blah, blah, blah. And they were talking about exactly this, not letting your past control your future. And I was thinking, this is good. I need this. And this is where my journey started. The course wasn't that great. It taught me a lot, but there were some crazy elements in it. that I didn't like, so I didn't go there again. I took one course, and we were a little, few people from Iceland that had gone to the course, and I'm still in touch with one of them today. But it changed a lot, and it changed the way I took responsibility. Now, taking a responsibility for your behavior is such a liberating thing to do, but at the same time, it's really hard. I mean, it's so much easier to blame somebody else, to be responsible for everything. Ugh. Oh my God, I wasn't, it wasn't that much fun, but at the same time, it freed me. Not totally. Now, I started to see myself a little bit from the outside, and one of the biggest thing is that I saw how I was towards my son. Now, I wasn't a bad mom, but I did argue with him. And the way I argued with him, you shouldn't be arguing with a 4-year-old like that. I was quite argumentative, which kind of pushed him down. Now, I didn't see that. I just knew that we were arguing a lot. And I mean, okay, yeah, you do that with a 4-year-old. They don't put their clothes on, all that. But I decided that I would record myself one evening and actually listen to it. Because I wanted to see it not just from my perspective. I wanted to take a step out and look at this and see, what I was doing. So I did. I'm not going to cry. I did. And we got an argument, like we did, like every night. And when I listened to it, I was so argumentative that, I just I totally crushed him. With words. And I was just like, oh my God, my hurt was really just coming out, and it was, it was like a shower on that little beautiful boy that I love the most in the world. Now, that was not allowed to keep on going like that. So I went into this personal development, not letting my past control everything that I do. My hurt, passing it on to my kid. Ever again. That night, it was finished. I never did it again. And I started to work on myself and my hurt. And my biggest motivation was my son, because I didn't want to pass this along to him. And there were a lot of steps. One of the biggest steps was that a man and a woman called Kersti and Lennart, they do personal development and all kinds of other stuff. Brilliant people. Love them to death as well. But Lennart once said to me, you need to forgive. And you know exactly who you need to forgive. And when he said that, I just went like, no, we're not going there. That's not even an option. Why should I forgive? And of course he was talking about my ex-stepdad. And I needed to forgive him. And I was like, nope. But, like I said, at that time, I wasn't doing this for me. I was doing it for my son. because I wanted him to have a, you know, a clean cut life, or a start at least. Not carrying my shit. Never. So I listened. And Kersti, she gave me this meditation to do, to be able to do the process of forgiving. And that meditation, in the beginning, I would sit down. I was supposed to see him in front of me. Just that little thing. Couldn't do it. I was running. I literally went to the bathroom, ran to the bathroom, and puked like 3 times, 2 or 3 times, the first times. But I did this for 2 years. I think it was like every day. And what I did was I would close my eyes, and I would see him in front of me, and I would give him a color. And then this color would just, like, you know, kind of surround him, and then I would just let him fly away. It didn't take long, but it was very effective. And 2 years later, I could, you know, say in my heart and my stomach that I had forgiven. The first thing I learned about forgiveness was that forgiving is not saying that what he did was okay. Forgiving is about freeing me from the pain. Okay? That's what it's about. It's not about the other person. It's not saying that this is okay. But you need to get there, because otherwise you are caught up in such anger. So what you're doing is that you are not stuck in the anger. This is a way to let go. Now this will always have an effect on my life. Always. It's a part of my life. It has changed me, you know, sculptured me. And I accept that. I don't want to be stuck, angry and bitter, and, you know, because then I'm actually giving him my power. He still has power over me, and that is a big no. He will never have power over me again. I reserve that right. So I did this 2 years, and the first thing I did, actually, when I've, like, yeah, forgave and let it go, was to put a real boundary for myself. I actually went to Iceland and I pressed charges against him. Now, I hadn't done that before. I did it. I knew that it was too late. But that was okay. It was fine with me. Because I thought, you know what? There might be others. And if there are others, then this will actually stand somewhere, even though it doesn't press charges or anything. So, and this is me about, how old I am? Maybe 28? Around that, 20, yeah, something like that, 28, 29, yeah. I got a lot of help from my family, which I'm very thankful. Now it's there. I don't know what he has done to other people. I am very proud of myself that I put a limit, like a boundary. I put a value on myself, and press charges. I think this is very important. And even though nothing, you know, will come out of it, it's still very important to do it for your own sake. I am sure that other kids were a victim, and I hope that somebody does press charges against him. He had a son that was about, I think it was about 5 years younger than I was, and he was with us like every other weekend. I told him about this when I was about 17, and he said, "My dad has never done anything like this to me, but I believe you and I understand." I don't know what he meant by that. He didn't say. I didn't have so much contact with them after that. I think it was the last time I saw him, actually. When I was 31, he must be 27 or something. He shot and killed himself. And the first thing I thought was, what did that man do to him? Now, so as you can hear, I've been through some stuff. And working through sexual abuse, because it's such a process, because it affects so many levels of your life. It affects everything in your life. My sexual experience has been really affected. So you need to kind of, take one thing at a time, kind of. And when I started my company, I wanted to be a coach, right? And I wanted to be effective, because when something really works, you can really apply it to your everyday life. It's so powerful. It was so powerful for me to get these tools from the first course, just to be able to take some responsibility. And then, getting in touch with other people who have, these great tools for letting go and forgiveness and all that. And then I actually did choose this brilliant guy as a husband, and that really helped me as well when it came to sex. The way he is as a person, and I'll always be grateful for that. But it affects you when you least expect it. Also, I mean, when I was pregnant, I didn't want to have the kid because I didn't want so much focus down there. Things like that, and you're like, what is this? So my passion is to let to really let other people shine. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Not many people know this, but I'm not really thrilled being on social media this much or being on stages and stuff like that. I'm good at it. Tell me otherwise, then I'll get better. But yeah, I'd rather see you do this. So that is actually a passion of mine, personal development, and my vision. My vision came to me when I was working with my daughter. So she's turning 12 now. She was 9 years old, so a few years ago. We were in Sri Lanka, and we were working at an orphanage home for 3 months, teaching English. And I really wanted to give her like a perspective of life. Another story. But anyhow, I woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to be a coach. And I was like, no, not another coach. But I want to give people who have been sexually abused or trafficked the tools so that your past does not control your now and your future. Now, that's my vision. I can do that in a lot of ways, right? And I had a way with my company. I was doing my thing, and I was giving away my everything, all my courses and my coaching and everything to people who have been sexually abused. So that was for free, always. All my hypnosis, everything, it still is. I really wanted to do it my way, but now when the corona came, I decided that I'm going to start applying to organizations like UNICEF and Save the Children and SIDA and the Red Cross and organizations like that, that also do this work. And, it's still my vision. I'll just do it in another way. And that's fine with me at the moment, as long as I can. I am also writing a book. So I'm actually hashtagging writer at the moment, and I have a brilliant accountability partner called Marius. He's so nice. So I won't get away with no procrastination. I can't say this word. Procrastination. And so I keep on writing. And I decided that my Instagram and my YouTube are going to be more about my life and about my passion and my vision. So I will be doing videos like this. Totally different, more relaxed, unplugged. So please, write to me if you have any questions and or any, comments at all. This feels good. I am still a coach, and I am I'm not a hypnotherapist. I'm a hypnotist. There's a difference. I haven't had like 4 years of schooling or anything. So if if you want to comment or anything, it's all Mindset Mastery Living still on YouTube, on Insta, and Facebook. And just write me a message and be in touch for whatever. Even if it's just going like, yeah, you go girl. I appreciate that as well. But thank you so much for actually watching all of this. Okay, boy. Oh, remember. Okay, you got this. Should I keep on saying that? You got this.